Mutulu Shakur way down here.
The music, Ramachandra Bokar, can you stand up? Sorry, because the music is so good. There's also Nathan Truesdell, the camera person, is here as well. Sorry about that.
Give us a couple of minutes.
Okay.
All right, I'm Boots Riley, by the way. And I actually know Mo Preem from back in the day during the time when, although a lot of times I talk about that I've been an organizer, but I also used to just throw parties. And who became my first manager was this dude, Errol, and ran into him, and he was like, you throw these parties, I could get you this dude, Mercedes. And we brought him through, and that was the beginning of us knowing each other, and we had been on some compilation album called Dope Like a Pound or a Key. And it was only through a lyric that he said on there, that I started putting together the connection that his father was Mutulu Shakur. And after learning all of that, I've read a lot about Mutulu, Dr. Shakur, and but I think this is the first time I've seen him talk so much. It was on this film, and just his charisma, his leadership, his love really came through. And I think there was a comment by the guy in Montreal, yeah, who said that what he was doing wasn't political, it was just love. But I think that's what I got from the whole program, that the Panthers and Young Lords were doing there, that you saw it whenever they talked about it, was love. And love, put into a material action. I'm trying to save all this for when
I just want to say Mo Preem is not in the film, but he was the consulting producer. So he was serving as Mutulu's while we were working on the film.
Just a couple basic questions. One, what I got from that, Dr. Shakur, is your love for people personified into a program, and that program is very connected to something that is very important to people right now, which is healthcare, and our approaches to it. Where do you think that fight is right now?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank everybody I want to thank everybody for coming. It's been a long time. I've been out of prison almost, well, we're actually 3 months. And it's a lot to thank people for. I know my victory is not my victory. It's our victory.
Thank you.
Right on. And I'm an emotional wreck. I'm so glad I'm free though. My man. It's reflected in this film, Dope is Dead, because most of my life has been dedicated to that objective through acupuncture. There's nothing perfect about me. I've made a lot of mistakes, but no one can claim that my intention has been anything other than let's get it done. And we all can get it done. Thank you, son. The issue of what you got to say? The issue is, where's the struggle that was waged in the 70s and 80s? Today, where did we get that passion? You heard Walter say, we were among a worldwide period of resistance to colonialism, racism, and all kind of isms. And we joined the fight like any human being would do. Get in where you fit in. We happen to fit in with dealing with the issue of drug addiction and genocide in our communities. Now, without a worldwide trend to follow, a passion to follow, in this period and in this era, you must find out where we can gain that kind of resources to energize this next generation. This fentanyl, woo, it's a big one. And it's sneaking up on the present situation. And it will become our downfall if we don't get busy. And acupuncture is one significant way to address it. Only one. But ain't nothing like being an acupuncturist. Right on. Nothing like it. So I think we need to find the passion and the reality of our existence. People are dying on this fentanyl. And the propaganda machine has closed its doors, has spread the information so wide and so thin, you dismiss it as irrelevant. Don't make that mistake.
It occurred to me that as I was watching this, that there was a analogous passion that I saw in this documentary unfold, with telling the story of figuring out that, hey, we can use acupuncture to help with this, and you all just took it and went for it. And speaking about the passion that you were just talking about right now, that seemed analogous to the program and plan that, at least correct me if I'm wrong, that it seemed that y'all had for changing the whole world. That there was an analysis that said this is how we could change it, and you went for it. And that is very much connected to the analysis that said we need to go for this and put this holistic health into the community. I guess this is more of a comment. It seems like we can learn a lot from what you all did and take that take that need for help around fentanyl and addiction and connect that to these larger struggles. Maybe I'm wondering if would
You and me? You want to answer?
I'm not exactly in a position to answer that, but I will say that what inspired me to make the documentary was getting to know Mutulu, but also how inspiring it was that they were all like in their early 20s, 19, 20, 21, when they took over the hospital because they wanted to serve their community and to heal people. And from what I learned talking to you, Mutulu, was your discovery of acupuncture and the idea that you were suspicious of methadone and what that would do to what that meant to the community if you were looking for an alternative to treat the community. So I just thought it was just very inspiring and very beautiful, and I was so surprised that this wasn't more widely known. At the time, it is more widely known today, but at the time it wasn't. So that was the inspiration of the film, and visiting you. When I first visited Mutulu in prison, it wasn't to make this film, it was to make a film about him and Mario, because Mutulu was supposed to be released in 2016, and then when he wasn't released, I was so emotionally invested in creating a counter narrative to, and then it became a different film. It became a completely different film, and I didn't think I would ever actually meet you on the outside, because there was just so much hope that was lost, like year after year, and so that was, to me, my, what I could do, as a filmmaker, to just provide a counter narrative to what.
Was there anything hard to go through in order to gain access to everybody?
Well, I mean, because Mario is my acupuncturist in Montreal, and I saw the poster on the wall, and was like asking him, like, what is this poster? What is this? Like, we will fight heroin and methadone by any means necessary, like acupuncture. I was just like, Mario, what is this poster? Like, what is, like, I was just, I was going to him for my migraines. And then he started to tell me about Mutulu and Shakur's stepfather, and I was just like, what? Like, and then I started to write Mutulu, because I have a stepbrother who's been on methadone for 20 years, so I was just like, it was just very surprising. So I started to correspond with Mutulu, started to visit him, and originally it was going to be like a reunion documentary, like Mutulu and Mario meeting each other. Anyway, so that was just the genesis, and then of course, access to people. It started after a couple of years of meeting with Mutulu put me in touch with Mopreme, and then, going to New York, talking to people, and then it just kind of evolved.
And I saw that you were a photographer, and one thing I noticed was some beautiful pictures for talking heads. That's hard to keep that beautiful, and you brought out not only the beauty in the folks but their surroundings. So just want to commend you on that.
I can't take credit for all that because I didn't do most of the camera work, but thank you. Nathan did some of the camera work, but we kept it very simple. No lights, like, you know, my friend Glauco, when we shot with Kakai, it was very simple, but yeah, like trying to be intimate and.
So, I guess this is a question for both Mutulu and Mopreme. What made you trust her?
Okay. I get a call from my pops. He's like, hey, this young lady, she's, you know, patient, and one of my comrades talked to her, see what's going on, see if it's legitimate. You know. All right. And I met Mia, and she's so sweet. She was genuine, you know. I was like, you really gonna dwell into the story? And yeah, she's followed all the steps. And you know, me and my wife Talia, we went, you know, rocking with her to help, you know, because it's not a well-known story. You know, it's not a well-known story, and the importance of it, I felt, was the search for a solution. There was a problem, and you needed to search for a solution. So they were searching for a solution and love the people. You know, those two things, you know, kept it moving, you know, kept the passion hot, you know, and Mia stayed on it. She didn't fall off, she didn't, you know, and we made it to the finish line. Thank God.
I also want to thank Margie and Talia, because Margie has been, like, Mutulu put me and Margie together, and I would just sleep at Margie's house all the time when I would go to New York. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people in this room that helped out. Dr. Kakai, Watani, I'm sure there's other, there's other people in this room as well.
There's a whole community of conscious people helped out this film. And Mia was tested. She definitely was tested. And because the story is not well known, but it should have been. The fact that the Joint Terrorist Task Force put an acupuncture clinic, a clinic to prevent the spread of chemical warfare, on its list of targeted spaces in New York City, was very significant, because it was trying to prevent us from alerting the community of trademarks of genocide. Anytime you have to get up in the morning and go downstairs and stand online before you get your coffee, before you go to work, you gotta stand online to get a drug to get you high. That shocks the consciousness of a conscious person. And when you don't have enough conscience to see that this is genocide, we are a dumbed down population. And so when someone says, I'm gonna do that story, you say, yeah, okay, we'll see. And so we seen the work. And it means that we gotta stop so much. I know she gonna beat me, but listen. This picture stuff, this movie star stuff, I got nothing against making a good movie. I love it. But we gotta stop making it such that we separate the movie maker from the subjects of the movies. We can't be too intellectual, slick, using words and isms that separate you from your targets. they dying. We have an amorphous pain that comes from all of these tragedies, that genocide, drug addiction, police brutality, poverty, miseducation comes from. We'll lose our soul and don't even know we're losing it because we're not conscious of what that particular pain is. We think of pain, we think about blood and mud. But pain is a serious impediment to creativity and love. We gotta stay on knowing that pain and fighting back and getting victories. And that time is coming close, like 1974, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1980. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's coming, I'm down. Whatever y'all want to do, let's do it.
And I think we should have folks from the audience be able to interact with all y'all. I do want to make one statement quickly though. In there was a statement that you made that said that basically from the interactions that Tupac had around you, that he took a lot of anger. But I'm telling you, what I get and what most of the world got from him was determination. Because a lot of people can be angry. But the determination that he had is something that rang through what he saw from being around y'all. And that carried over to the world. So thank you. I guess we'll just take hands. There you go. Yeah, go ahead and stand up, I guess. Oh, we got a mic.
Well, hi, my name is Shakur Ali, and I grew up in the St. Nicholas Projects in Harlem. And between the ages of 12 and 14, I snorted heroin. And between 14 and 17, I was mainlining, I was an addict. And I got treatment at the Lincoln Center. And Mutulu, I'm getting a little emotional.
All right.
Okay.
But Mutulu treated me. He was excellent. I've had other acupuncturists, but never anybody with his skill. Never. And in all these years, never anyone with his skill. And he had a way of talking to us that, so it wasn't only the acupuncture, it was the wisdom that he had. And as I remember, Mutulu kind of had a smart mouth. You know, I mean, he wouldn't take any stuff. You know, he would always kind of, you know, just go right to the point and hit you right where you need to be hit, you know. And he put me on a path of holistic living. So I'll be 70 years old this year. And because of the things I learned from him through the acupuncture treatment about how the body works, how you can maintain and heal your system, I've had a life where I've been able to also be of service in my life. And so he resurrected this Harlem boy who eventually became a professor and has helped thousands of people through my work in higher education. And so without this brother and without that whole movement, I know I wouldn't be here today. So I just want to say thank you, brother. You are blessed. And I'm so glad you're out. And anything I can do from my angle, I I'm down with you, so,
My man.
thank you, thank you.
Straight ahead.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Back there.
Hi, I just really quickly wanted to say thank you so much for your contribution to the movement, to the Black radical tradition. It is like impacted me. I'm 29, I've been organizing since I was 22. And so much, like, it's just insane to be in here. Like, I just want us all to take this in for a second. Like, for this man to be here, for us to watch this at this point in time. Leukemia patient to another as well, like for you to be here as a Black cancer patient on top of it, like y'all don't understand how hard it is to be here through this and through so much state determination for oppression. My question for you is, how can we maintain hope as someone that has been through many cycles within the movement, have seen so many ways in which we've been distracted? It's really difficult right here where we are right now in history, with as much repression, as much kicking down as we've gotten, where to focus when there's so much to focus on. And so I'm hopeful in this room, obviously, but just as someone who's young and still trying to keep it going, just knowing where that hope is. And I'd be interested in everybody, obviously, but just thank you, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Right on.
You wanna answer no? Well, all I can say is what motivates me. And I can say that, there's a lot of us who have love for the people. Right on. We have, or we lack, a platform and a structure. And in order to give those two tiers force, you gotta show victories. And don't diminish your victories. Even though they're small, but they're your victories. We were moving so fast and so hard back in those days. We never took time to reflect on what we were really into. It was going so fast and they were coming so hard. And all we was doing is fighting back, spitting, kicking, and losing life. Losing the opportunity to enjoy nature, to kiss our children, to have meaningful relationships. It ain't easy, but one thing that was clear is that we didn't honor the victories and the sacrifices that were taking place right before our eyes. And that's why we have political prisoners who spent 35, 45, 50 years in United States penitentiary, where we honored Nelson Mandela. We honored Nelson Mandela. We got out and we marched and we honored Nelson Mandela. Why? Because it was so far away. It cost us nothing. When he was liberated, we celebrated. It didn't cost us nothing. Or those of us who weren't doing nothing, it didn't cost us. So we gotta honor our victory. You gotta make victory every day. A smile, a laugh, the holding of a hand of a little child. Mm-hmm. That's a victory. Yes. And so, as those victories build up, your confidence builds up. And so it might be slow, but it's how much ass kicking can you take? If you prolong the ass kicking, you get busy. You get busy. I have to be in the house at a certain time.
Right.
So if I cut off answering any of you questions, it's not personal. I have to be in.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.